Hello guys, welcome to Mouthful Games. In this video we're going to create a retro style fade transition like the ones you've seen in NES games, Super Nintendo games. Why I'm saying fake because this effect that we're going to create is not going to fully recreate what those games did with the limited color palette. We're just going to kind of visually try to recreate the effect. So you could do it by limiting the color palette and using shaders, but that's beyond the scope of this tutorial, and it's much harder. Okay, so first of all I'm going to show you what it looks like, and also I'm going to say this is pretty much an extension of the simple fade tutorial video, so you want to watch that first because we're just going to modify the code from that video to achieve this effect. Right, there you go, there you saw it. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this fade now. And okay, let's go back to the code. So where we left off. First things first, to achieve this kind of effect, the draw GUI stays the same. So we're going to draw a black rectangle. We're going to use the opacity variable. And we're going to draw it and set alpha back to 1 for the whole game. What did I press there? Okay. So what's going to change? The most of the logic from the step event is going to go into the alarm. So we're going to get rid of the step event completely. So, okay, I'm going to add event, add the alarm. Alarm pretty much is a timer. So it's kind of like create event. It will execute it once when it's been told to. So I'm going to copy this code from the step event into the alarm. Again, this is going to stay the same. If opacity is, I'm going to actually make it equal to 0. Instance destroy, and else opacity minus. Okay, so here we're going to define how many times the opacity is going to change. I like to use the value 25. So the opacity is going to go from fully visible to invisible in 4 increments. So 25, 50, 75, 0. Okay, so now all we need to do is we need to make sure we trigger this alarm. Right, so I'll get rid of the step event because we don't need it anymore. And let's go to create. So I'm going to trigger the alarm from the create event, and basically alarm 0 equals, let's say 20 steps. So after 20 steps into the room, whatever the object is created, we're going to trigger the alarm, and the alarm is going to set the opacity to that. But there's one more thing we need to do before that. We want to re-trigger the alarm because right now it's just going to decrease by 0.25. And it's going to be from 1, it's going to go to 0.75, and it's going to stay that way, right? So we want it to trigger again. So at the end of the alarm, I'm basically going to create a loop. I'm going to go alarm 0 equals 20. So what I'm doing, I'm triggering the alarm over and over till the opacity reaches 0. So after 20 more steps, the alarm is triggered again, and it checks if its opacity is 0. If it's not, it's gonna reduce it. Okay, so I think that's basically it. So we go in here, I'm gonna drag my object fade, I'm gonna run it. And there you go. Right, if you want to make it slower, what I would do, if you want to make it slower, say, just change how quickly the alarm gets triggered. Say 40 steps. Create event as well. 40 steps, 40 steps. So let's see that. There you go. It's much slower now. Okay, and for the fade out, again, all we want to do is just reverse it. So we start opacity 0. This stays the same. And for the alarm, we're gonna, if opacity is equal to 1, we're gonna destroy it, and we're gonna increase it. Yep. So this is gonna be a fade out. Let's test this. And you can see it's fading out slowly. Yep. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, thank you for watching.